I get so scared when folks don't properly nourish their steers. What was that? Hi, I'm Robert, and welcome back to another edition of the High Desert Ranch and Homestead channel. It is the Basic Nutrition Project, and today I'm focusing on bottle calves because before they can become a steer or a heifer or the like, they are a calf. And if you have the advantage of a mother, it's best to let Mother Nature take care of your calf. It is going to be less headache, less time that you can use to other things, and also it's going to save you a lot of money. So I'm going to focus on a bottle calf, whether you bought something from someone or the calf is rejected by the mother, which does occasionally happen. I'm going to go over three particular aspects of what to do with your bottle calf, and that would be first the amount of feed supplement for the first 0 to 3, possibly 6 months. I do have a program where you can wean your calf within 3 months and still be successful, because that's going to be the hardest part, whether you have a mama calf, a mama taking care of a calf, is that weaning process. But if you've got strictly a bottle calf, you've really got to be diligent and dedicated as far as that weaning process. And then I'm going to talk about the health signs, what to look for, two of the common things that you're going to run into with your bottle calf. And then finally, the weight aspect, because as any rancher will tell you, it's important to monitor the weight. So let's go ahead and dive right in on that, shall we? All right, so we're going to talk about the weight, or excuse me, the supplements of your bottle calf. Most of the time, you're going to, within the first day, you're going to know whether or not the cow has rejected the calf, or you're going to buy a calf from somebody. And it's important to, if you are going to buy a calf from somebody, or even if the calf's been rejected, is to make sure that they've got that colostrum, because if they haven't, the chance of survival go down immensely. The percentage is very low of that calf survival. So if they haven't had that, you need to immediately get that into their system, which is rich with those nutrients and even other aspects that will help with the calf to prevent getting certain diseases or viruses, that kind of thing. Just the overall calf health. So that's vital to know. That's the first thing to know. And the second is buying the milk supplement. This is going to be the most expensive part of your bottle calf. So if you can definitely have a mom that accepts it, I would recommend this route, but it's still feasible to and makes fiscal sense if you're going to raise a bottle calf all the way to a dairy cow, or if you're going to have like a feeder beef steer. So basically, your formula is going to be 2% of the calf's body weight for the milk supplement. And you're looking initially about 1 gallon a day is what they're going to drink, and you can do that preferably in 2 feedings. It helps just with the digestion. If you have a really sick calf, you're going to maybe have to do 3 times a day just to kind of help for it to be able to process and digest what it is the calf requires. And so and as you work up to that weaning stage process, you're going to go from about 1 gallon a day all the way right around to 1.5 gallons a day. And again, split up into 2 feedings. And one of the keys is to make sure that to enable the cow to better digest and preserve energy, because really that's what you're trying to do. You want the energy to go into the growth. And so when you give that calf its supplement in the bottle, make sure it's right around 100 degrees. They operate slightly higher than our temperature, right around 102 degrees. The mama cows are about 103. So that's important to know. When it hits their stomach, you want it to be right around 100 degrees so they can focus on maintaining all the energy that they need for growing purposes. And right around about day 3 to 5, I would, it doesn't hurt to go day 3, is to introduce them to water, to always have fresh water available from this point on. Those first couple days are going to get almost all, in fact, all what they need from the bottle, but it's good to introduce them to the water. Preferably have a way to measure that water. So if you have like a 5-gallon bucket or something like that, that way you can just monitor to see just how much water they are drinking. And you definitely want to have some sort of a journal, especially if you're starting out for the first time, because it's going to be super helpful for you to go back. And even as a rancher, it's helpful to go back just to know exactly what you can do. You can track the progress, and come next year you can look back on some of your notes and be that much better off. So make sure you have that water, fresh water on hand. And about the same time, you're going to want to introduce some sort of creep ration, like a calf manna or something high in protein, like a 4-way feed or something of that nature, especially if you have a feed mill nearby. You're going to be a lot better off if you're doing like a 3 or 4-way feed. And then about week 2, you're going to want to introduce some hay to their diet. And the best way to get them to start eating the hay is to sprinkle whatever that feed ration is you're giving them, sprinkle over the top of the hay. And again, don't give them a lot. You know, they're not going to eat a lot because they're still very heavily dependent upon that milk, and their stomachs haven't developed fully for that grass. But they will definitely be eating some of that feed ration that you're giving them. And this, if you start out that way, it's going to help you, especially if you want to wean by 3 months. This is the way to do it, because as you're going to notice, that calf supplement, that milk supplement, is very expensive. It's like baby formula for children. It's gonna be your biggest cost with your bottle calf. So that's something to look forward to, or not look forward to, depending on how you look at it. But definitely you're going to want to introduce that feed ration and then that hay about at the 2-week period, and again, small doses sprinkled over the top so they start nibbling it and getting a taste for it. So, and then secondly will be the main things to look out for, especially within the first few days of a bottle calf, and then especially as you introduce them to more like hard physical rations, the hay especially, and letting them out to pasture to forage. All right, so the first of that is going to be scours. Within the first 72 hours after birth is usually when you're going to find the scours happening, and if you don't treat it fast, they will perish, the calves. It's something that it happens so quickly, and you typically get the scours if you're going to buy from like a large dairy operation where they're just the conditions aren't super sanitary, and there's just a lot of different cows and calves in one spot. That's usually when you're going to find the scours. So if you buy from like a dairy operation, just keep a close eye on your calves with that happening. And some of the signs to look for is lethargic. I will say baby calves, just like baby children, human babies, are going to sleep a lot, but they're still going to get up, and especially when you come around with that bottle, they will recognize you. In fact, you're like their mother. As soon as they see you, they're going to be up and at it. So if you notice that they're lethargic, they've even got the droopy ears, and especially if they're not eating, that's a telltale sign. If they're not wanting to eat, and you're not going to be able to feed it to them either. Like you're not going to be able to force them. They just don't want to eat because they don't feel very good. So and I've actually got 2 videos that I'm going to post in the link description below, or even up here. I'm going to do a little card. You can check that out, or just wait till the end of the video, and I will have it available in the video description below, and actually one of the featured videos. So definitely look at the scours, those 2 videos that I have. They are the treatment videos, and you can see just how quick and easy it is. And definitely, I guess this is my disclaimer, if you're going to get into this industry, definitely have a veterinarian on call, or at least someone that is knowledgeable in this particular thing that can help you out with that. And then the second one is you're transitioning to more of that feed, the physical, more of that like a solids diet, when you're transitioning from the milk to a solids diet of hay, or if you're just going to go straight into like grain fed kind of a thing, is to look for the bloat. And it's exactly how it sounds. The cows just blow it up like a balloon, and that can kill them fast, even quicker than the scours, because everything gets backed up and plugged up, and it literally just expands to the point of exploding their insides. So you will see people that jab or cut or things like that. That's in super rare extreme cases, and honestly, click on the video in the description below, or right up here there's a card for my bloat video. It's quick and easy. Definitely watch the whole thing. I promise you it's worth watching the whole thing, because you're not only going to see how to treat the calf for bloat, but then what to do after you relieve the bloat, and that will help over the next 8 to 12 hours after you've helped to relieve the bloat, and will most likely prevent the cow from getting bloat. Because sometimes what I've noticed is when people don't follow the steps that I show you in this video, the calf gets bloat like that again. You solve it initially, but then it doesn't, it will come right back within just a few hours. So check out my video there. But that just happens because the rumen isn't fully developed, or they tend to not get enough water or too much nitrogen in your protein source. So it can be a combination of a few things, but because for the most part calves aren't going to overeat, but it will appear like they've overeat only because of those factors. Rumen's not developed, they're not drinking enough water, and they're getting too much nitrogen, whatever protein source, whether it be hay, the alfalfa, or some of your feed supplement. So again, check out my bullet video on that. And then last but certainly not least, and it's the most important in your calf's health, is to see its weight gain. It's important to know that, especially in the first week, or even a bi-weekly analysis within the first 2 to 3 months. It's important just to know how much your calf is gaining, if it's healthy or not, along with all these other health signs to look for. Whether it's got the diarrhea, then you know you might need to be doing a little bit of deworming, or it's not gaining weight fast enough, then you need to up your protein intake for your calf. Or like I say, it has a deworming issue that you'll have to then take care of as well. Most beef calves are going to be about 1 to 2 days of weight gain until they're weaned. So if you're going to do a 3 or 6 or 7 month program, it all just depends. So that's why it's important to know just how much weight they're gaining. And then most Angus calves, depending on the breed lines, of course, this is a general figure, but by about 6 months, they're going to be anywhere from 450 to 550 pounds. So if you're getting it from a dairy operation, you are probably going to have a mix of the Holstein in with your Angus. So these numbers might be slightly lower than what I've just given you. But I would definitely recommend once per month weighing your cow. Make sure it's consistent on the same day. And I actually have a video for that as well right here, or down in this video description below. And it's important to know that. And what's great about my measuring video is you don't need an expensive scale. You can do it with a common cloth tape measure and some formula. So check out that video. That'll be helpful. And again, just knowing how heavy your calf is. So if you do have to administer some sort of medicine, and even adjusting your feed rations, and especially as you go into the winter months, you can up the protein intake. Especially if you're going to do the 6th or 7th month weaning, you need to know just where the general overall condition of your calves. So that's about it. That covers just the basics. This is the Basic Nutrition Project, so I haven't gone into extreme detail. You can definitely go to like your local agricultural extension office, and they can help you out with that, or even just do some searches online. So definitely do look for my coming videos once they pass the calf stage into your steer stage, just to help manage and continue to grow into your healthy beef steer, or even if you have your dairy calf. So I hope you learned something today. Please like, subscribe, share, help that YouTube algorithm to connect people, like-minded people, and those that are wanting to learn and to get into the business, and connect to this wonderful network and community that is the High Desert Ranch and Homestead members. You guys are great. Leave your comments below, or if you have any questions, I'll try and get to them, or some of these other wonderful people who are here on this channel, they will be able to help you as well. There's a lot of knowledge, and as we come together, create that parallel society, in the end, things will work out. Remember, you can do this. You only get so many trips around the sun, so decide what's important and do it today. So nothing's stopping you, right, but yourself sometimes. So thanks for coming along. I hope you learned something today as it relates to bottle calves, and look for the other videos, or depending on when you're watching this video, check out the videos in the description link below and here at the end of this video. And thanks for coming along, and I hope I was your ticket to help escape the ordinary and find out just what it's like to live the high life here in the high desert of the Intermountain West, here on the High Desert Ranch and Homestead channel.